As you can see, we've got a big gob of hair on here. The next step, you've got to use a double-edged blade. You cannot use a single-edged blade. The double-edged blades are so much more sharp than the single edge. There's just absolutely no comparison. So absolutely run down to the drugstore and get yourself some safety razor blades. We're going to take this out of the vise. Set that aside. Now the first cut is down the back of this. You know, I've got the hook point. I'm going to cut this square down the back. Now you remember that orange chenille, ice chenille that I tied in the back? That's going to be your cutting guide. You don't want to cut too deep and end up cutting the thread and having it all fall out. Okay. I've got it pretty flat across the back, as you can see. Next, we're going to pull all this hair forward on here. And I'm trying to save those tips that we stacked in the back. Now I do this with scissors. I don't do it with the blade. But I'm going to basically set my scissors right against the hook eye, and I'm going to cut. I'm kind of making a cone or a point, maybe kind of like a Dahlberg, let's say. Now, ultimately, I want the hook point right below my cuts. I also want to balance this so there's about the same amount of width on both sides. You can see it kind of curves around. Try to let you see this at all the good angles. Okay, there it is, head on. And we're going to turn it. I'm going to grab it by the chenille in the front, and you can see how it's the hook point comes in right next about level with the hair, just about. The redfish will come up behind this and grab it, inhale it, and because it's squishy, they'll hold on to it for just long enough for you to get the hook point in to their mouth and get them stuck. It's one of the reasons I like this fly so well. But that's the Redfish Joe. Since the video had to get cut in half due to the length, I thought I'd make a few more comments about the Redfish Joe and why I like it so much, and a few things about how to fish it. It is spun deer hair. You know, spun deer hair is generally thought of as a floating type of fly. Now, I've got lead eyes on here to get it down. But it's very important that when you fish this, you need to soak the body of this deer hair. You know, get it down in the water and, you know, squeeze it until it's completely saturated with water before you even start to fish with it. I generally fish this on an 8 weight. I've tried it on a 7. It works, but you know, an 8 weight's just a little bit better weight for fishing it. Generally, I fish it on a very long leader. You know, at least 12 feet. Because it doesn't sink like a stone, this isn't a permit type of fly. You know, it tends to, you know, move fairly slowly, so you're going to have to strip the fly back in slow and short strips. I generally use this in a little deeper water. You know, I don't think that this is really an ideal fly for tailing redfish unless you just happen to find some really happy fish that are oblivious to what's going on around you. Generally, a fly like this does make a bit of noise when it enters the water, and I don't think I'd throw it in on a tailer unless it might be a solo where he isn't paying as good attention and is happily eating off the bottom. But the most important thing is that you've got to soak this fly very thoroughly so it does sink well. Other than that, good luck, and this is the Redfish Joe. Thanks.